So, it's the best of 5. Winner semifinals for Cloud9 versus G2. G2 is playing with GarrettG and JKnaps. This time, JKnaps is obviously a member of G2. Garrett is not, and that leads the question: why didn't they play as NRG2? Because that would have been a cool name. But yeah, first things first. This is a best of 5 winner semifinals. Let's slow this down because this is interesting. This is the first kickoff of the match, the first set piece of the entire series, and it looks like Gimmick is going for a hard win, or he's trying to win this, get this ball to go to the right hand side of the field, and Squishy has gone for the back right boost in order to meet it when it gets there. And I don't know what their success rate with this is. In practice, maybe it's really high, but it is very risky for the reason you're about to see, and that is if the ball doesn't go this way, like if you do a really, really strong hitbox kickoff like this, and then the other guy does a strong hitbox kickoff, it might just stay in the middle. And who does that favor? It favors a cheater. And to make matters worse, I think Squishy actually turned, yeah, he did. He didn't turn back to his goal. He actually turned to the right after going for that boost. So he couldn't even make it back into his goal to contest this shot. So not the best start for Cloud9. I'm not a fan of that kickoff strategy at all, personally. At the start of a match, because this is the first kickoff of the game. And Gimmick's just done a 1v1 style kickoff when his teammate's going for boost. Not a good idea. He should be doing a much more glancing blow kickoff here to give the ball a better chance of going past him and towards Squishy, if that's what they want to do. Because of the whole energy drama, yeah, it's probably that. But yeah, that's just to explain who's playing for G2 here. It is Garrett and JKnaps, who I expected to win this series pretty hard. So yeah, again, both players going for pretty strong 1v1 style kickoffs, like trying to just hit the ball as hard as possible through the center of its mass. I'm surprised that people or pros do that as much as they do. The reason, like, let me just pause and say that if you look at the stats, you'll see that the team that gets the ball into the other team's half on kickoff, the majority of the time will score first. But that's a misleading stat. That stat would suggest to you that you should be trying to get the ball into the other team's half on kickoff, because the stats say that you're going to score, that more goals happen for you when you do that. But the reason more goals happen for you when you do that is because teams cheat so much. If teams didn't cheat as much as they did, then letting the ball go into your own half on kickoff wouldn't be such a bad thing. So don't fall for that statistic. It's very misleading. I hear people talk about it all the time, especially casters. They say that, yes, maybe need to try and win more kickoffs, because as we know, winning kickoffs is a higher percentage of being the first team to score. Very misleading. It's don't just blindly follow statistics. You can't just fall into that trap, really. Okay, so this is something that we're going to see a lot from Squishy, I'm sure. I've not watched this series in detail yet, but controlling the ball in his own back corner is something he's really good at in Rocket League in general. And it was actually really good spacing there by Garrett and JKnaps. You see that when Squishy's flick came in, Garrett was ready to step in behind JKnaps, who just got taken out of the game. And again, JKnaps has a great presence here. This is very good team challenging by JKnaps and Garrett. What are they doing? They're having a presence with their front man. And then the back man, in this case Garrett both times, is ready to step in and take the ball for free when Gimmick really relinquishes control. That's exactly how you challenge as a unit in 2v2. And you'll notice that time, JKnaps didn't even go for a block. He didn't even go for the ball. He just went for a bump on Gimmick to give Gimmick an even harder time recovering and taking control of the ball. I really like that from JKnaps. Very, very smart. That's a surprising miss by Gimmick, in all honesty. You would not expect Gimmick to miss this. Pretty weak touch by Squishy, and Gimmick with a whiff. It's risky for Garrett to be going up for this. Did I check the new YouTube joins? Oh, I did not do that yet. Yeah, I should probably do that if there are any. I don't know if there are. I should just refresh. There might not be. But yeah, I am shouting out anybody who clicks the join button on my YouTube channel. Any new members at the start of videos. No, I don't think we have any new ones, so I'll leave that for now. Yeah, if you want your shout out, that's how you get it. You just click the join button. Remember, if you only want one shout out, I think it'll probably auto renew, so you'll have to go and cancel that subscription after 1 month. But yeah, I wanted to say more about Squishy there defensively. Um, like in the defensive corner, Squishy's really, really hard to dispossess. I've been impressed with him in that position. Now I can only imagine that this is an attempted shot by Squishy, which would be okay. Like yeah, you could put an awkward ball center here, take Garrett out of the game. When that doesn't go well, I'm not a huge fan of Gimmick throwing himself into this challenge, because as you can see, if you're last man and you're challenging with the other team's front man in 2v2, you're going to get scored on the majority of the time. It's not even a good position to be challenging. It's the opposition corner. Oh, then did we get this lag, this pretty funny laggy bit. So this happened live on the stream as well. I remember seeing this. Very good stuff. It's good clear by JKnaps. Yeah, you don't really want to be making that challenge in Gimmick's position unless you have a really good feeling about it, which by the way 50-50, like a 50, like straight up 50-50 where you're arriving at the ball at the same time as the opposition who's got backup and you don't, and you're in their back corner where you don't really have many good angles to start with. Yeah, probably a bad idea. Decent touch there by Garrett. Fake challenges, also very good. Okay, now we're seeing like something that I did notice between Garrett and JKnaps quite a lot. I was surprised to see this as well, is how often they were double committing to balls like this. Garrett, we actually don't know if he checked to see where JKnaps is here, and it's the thing that I dislike the most about Rocket League spectating at the moment, is they use the director camera for the most part, which is, it makes sense because it's much easier to use, but it is a bit misleading. Garrett might have checked here. He might have used his camera look left feature to check where JKnaps is. Probably didn't because he bumped JKnaps off the ball, but I'm just saying, he might have checked there, and then just beamed it. But he probably didn't, and that's what I'm going to criticize, is I don't think he checked. An early turn there by Squishy. I was surprised, actually, that he didn't take Garrett more into his back corner, because there is no 100 boost pad here. I expected him to go into his back corner, take Garrett there with him. That was a bit of an awkward angle. I've been told, this is just something that I've been informed by one of my viewers, that Garrett said, or was it JKnaps, that they said about Squishy and Gimmick. He said that Cloud9 play 2s as if it's a 3s game. They just go really fast for everything, which I don't think has been a very accurate representation of how they've played Universal Open 2v2. Another team bump by Garrett and JKnaps, so this one doesn't turn out too badly. It was JKnaps who said that, okay. I would disagree with that. It might be how they played 2s in ranked, and it might be how they played 2s in practice, but really is not how they played in the tournament so far. They've been playing pretty controlled. Compared to how they play in 3s, they've been pretty controlled. I'm not saying that they've had perfect control. I think every team in Rocket League are mostly 3s focused, so they've not really mastered competitive level 2v2 just yet. No team is really, really good at that style where you could just control the ball and try and like draw the other team in. I think the player who's really stood out to me the most in that regard this tournament would have to be Scrubkiller or Lethamere. And no surprise, they're the players who are probably the best at 1v1 historically in this tournament. Scrubkiller is probably just really glad that there's no Fairy Peak and no K-Dop at this event. JKnaps isn't on G2? Yeah, he is. Oh, JKnaps, for goodness sake. Let's see what you did there. Yeah, 3-0 down. You'd think should be in the bag right now for Garrett and JKnaps, but the demos are coming in. This is something I want to watch. Watch Gimmick here. This is insane, and it's something you're going to see all series long. Gimmick called Squishy a ball chaser. I mean, all right, let's watch Gimmick in this play. So gets a bit of a lucky demo there, but then he runs on, gets JKnaps or gets Garrett as well, and then on spawn, Axel locks JKnaps. So that was a rampage by Gimmick. He demoed JKnaps, demoed Garrett, catches JKnaps on spawn and drives him into the center past the ball. And I think Gimmick was probably the player who did this the best out of anyone at this event so far. That's off the ball bump plays. They're so strong in 2v2. If you can catch the opponents in a 2v1, why not just drive ahead and bump them? Decent 50-50 by both players there. And then you see something that was happening an awful lot in this tournament so far. That has happened an awful lot in this tournament, which, by the way, if you're watching this live, I think the Universal Open will probably be the grand final will probably be on like if you got this video like literally as I put it on YouTube, then you could probably just go to twitch.tv or face it twitch.tv Universal Open on Twitch, and you can catch this the grand final. You might miss it though if you didn't catch this video as it went live. You can kind of forgive Cloud9 for being there for stretching there to try and get another goal. However, that sort of center ball, it isn't very successful, and I'm actually going to rewind and show you again. This is something that I was talking about yesterday when I was doing replay reviews, and that is that trying to get the ball towards the center. You can see there the way that Gimmick is angling his car suggests that he wants to get this ball towards the G2 goal. You see that? He's hitting the ball on the left side to try and get it towards the goal. And I think that's just like an automatic thing. He's like, this is the way that their goal is, let's put it over there. That's the way the ball needs to go to score. When actually, the thing he should be doing is keeping it away from the goalkeeper. Because look what happens. If he puts it in the middle, that brings Garrett into the play. Garrett's like, oh, cool. You've centered it. Exactly what I wanted you to do. Thanks, Melvino, for the prime sub. I appreciate that. Where are you guys using up arrows for? I don't know what you guys are on about here. Yeah, you're going to probably see that quite a lot this series. That's like very unwise centering off the ball. Because you don't really want to center the ball in 2v2 to the front post, to the near post. If you're going to center the ball at all, you need to keep it away from the goalkeeper at all costs. Because if you don't, you're inviting your teammate to take a 50-50 with a goalkeeper, which is not usually going to work. It's excellent control by Gimmick here. Oh, they're carrots. So, alright, let's take a look at what happened here, because this is actually quite interesting. So, very, very disjointed positioning by G2. How did this happen? Where did it all go wrong? Okay, they've been doing this pretty well all series long. JKnaps and Garrett have been challenging the ball pretty well together. But this time, it falls to pieces, and it's actually Garrett who's probably beamed it here. He's dodging. I think he looked for a boost on this side of the field, because you see he's leaving that side of the field area, and he doesn't have 100 boost, so he probably moved over to this way when he should actually be moving towards JKnaps here. JKnaps needs backup at the moment, and Garrett didn't realize that. He's actually left JKnaps alone, and then JKnaps takes a 50-50, and then look what's happened now. Now JKnaps lost a 50-50. Nobody was there to back him up and challenge the free ball before Gimmick can take control again. And now they're completely disjointed, and Gimmick has a dribble play on Garrett. C9 score. It all goes back to that moment where Garrett didn't stay with his teammate when his teammate needed backup, though. It's something I have to try and guess, because I don't know why Garrett ended up in that position. He might have got bumped. He might have fallen over there. His car could just fall there after the 50-50. But I think after the 50-50 that he lost, his car was more in the midfield, and he could have probably picked up boost in a more direct line, helping his teammate. It's really important in 2s that you stay close enough to your teammate, or else when they lose a 50-50 or get challenged, you're not there to back them up. This is actually fine by JKnaps. He can't score those. I've seen him score those before, so that's all right. And he got it over the top. Good save by Gimmick. And a misplay by JKnaps, actually. So, difficult position to play right, because this is actually a really, really good save by Gimmick. Not only because he gets the ball out of his goal, but he's done so well with the save that he puts it all over JKnaps and into a position where Squishy can follow up, and Squishy will, of course, hit this double touch the majority of the time. And if you're JKnaps and you know that, then you cannot let the ball hit your wall uncontested. So, he needed to go up for this. He's never going to save this shot reactively. He needs to go up for that. Challenge the ball. Definitely a misplay. Still a really, really good rebound by Squishy, but we've all seen Squishy do this. We know he's going to score. We know he's going to score that the most of the time. What is going on with these people in chat spamming? I don't understand. Low boost, and Garrett was rotating back with low boost. Exactly, that's why you should contest it. That's why he should go for the ball, because he's never, ever, ever going to save that. It's actually another good flick by by Gimmick. Gimmick's Dominus flicks have been very impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Dominus seeing a little bit more play recently in pro play, which I love, because I love making fun of Dominus when it whiffs. It's totally a meme though for anybody who's wondering. Yeah, they didn't really make the comeback there. Bit worrying for JKnaps and Garrett that their lead was broken like that. And it all started with that one time where Garrett left JKnaps alone while looking for boost. It's very tempting to do that in 2v2. You're like, okay, my teammate's that way, and he's trying to make a play. But I don't have any boost, and there's maybe boost over here. He'll be fine. Let me go get the boost. No, don't do that. You will regret that a lot. But yeah, it's pretty cool that I've got to give a shout out to the Universal Open YouTube channel. Like, that's pretty cool that they're uploading their VODs so soon to YouTube. They're live streaming on YouTube apparently. Oh my goodness, the gimmick bumps are back again. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I don't like Gimmick's kickoff though. They get a bit lucky here. They deserve to be punished for doing this kickoff over and over again. Why are they still doing this? This kickoff is so trash. It's so bad. This is literally how they got scored on in game 1, with like 2 seconds into the game, because Gimmick went for a really, really strong hitbox kickoff against a team who are going for a strong hitbox kickoff and cheating, and Squishy's not behind him. Look at that. Ball doesn't move. Or did Squishy slow cheat? Well, yeah, I would not agree with a kickoff like this unless you're doing a fast cheat. I think, did JKnaps bump Garrett here? That's pretty funny. I mean, I don't think that Cloud9 should be going for this kickoff anyway. Yeah, I think JKnaps actually might have bumped Garrett here. Oh no. Then Gimmick just abuses JKnaps and Squishy gets to tap in. Still don't like that kickoff strat. Like, they got a goal, but I don't like it at all. Like, for Garrett. Yeah, if you're gonna do a slow cheat, you probably don't want to hit the ball as dead center as that. Like, think about it. There's usually 3 types of kickoff. The ones where you're trying to hit the ball as central and as hard as possible, in which case you're more likely to win the kickoff, like Garrett did here. There's the one where you're kind of like you're hitting it a bit hard, but more on the side. Like, you're hitting it pretty hard, but more on the side of the ball, so it's gonna hopefully not stay in the middle of the field. Or you're going for a complete glancing blow to let the ball go, like, deflect off you into a back corner. Funnily enough, the deflection will usually do, or the one where you're just letting hitting the ball really lightly, will work really well against somebody who's trying to win a kickoff, because they're looking for the ball to, like, bounce off both cars a lot, gaining all that momentum, and then firing it out really quickly. And if you just let it brush off you, it's not gonna go as fast as they hoped it would. But obviously the hard win kickoff can counter a kind of weaker one. Decent flick actually by Gimmick in the Dominus again. We have to look back though and see, how did this happen? Why are G2 so disjointed again? The hot is cold. Thanks to the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, the reason is because JKnaps has a little bit too much self-confidence. Did he think he had his dodge here, or did he double jump aerial? Yeah, without your dodge there, you're never going to get that shot fast enough, of course. And if you're not getting that shot fast enough on target, you should not be trying to do it. Because what happens when you don't get it on target? Counter-attack for the other team, 2v1, they can go for it. Like, Gimmick could literally leave the ball there and go run onto Garrett and go for a demo. Or they could do this, just try and dribble him. I'm not a fan of that touch by JKnaps, of course. He did dodge, just hit it poorly. Yeah, like, exactly. Like, you gotta hit such a peach of a shot, right? You're definitely not scoring it without your dodge. And as you can see, even with your dodge, it's still really difficult. Like, it's not high enough percentage shot, and he's taking himself completely out of the game to do it. So that's why I don't like it. This is also very interesting. The second time that JKnaps has done this, he did this for like air or a double touch earlier, and now he's doing it for the rebound. Of course, we've seen JKnaps score these, so, and Squishy is really, really not ready to defend the backboard, so I'm okay with that as a shot selection, because it's something that he's more likely to score than his shot that I'm criticizing earlier, so that's okay. But I don't really like his Garrett going up for the rebound. This is so risky. Like, when you're in this position as Garrett, Like, you're not closer to the ball than your opponent. And look at what happens. It's a 50-50 with a goalkeeper. The ball, if it goes literally anywhere except into the other team's net, it's going to be a pretty bad result for your team. JKnaps does well, though. Cleans up. I think a flip reset would have been really nice for Garrett there, but went for the straight up air dribble. It looked like a really nice line to do a flip reset on. Like, this first touch is perfect. Now you can just... Wait, did he jump? Yeah. You just like lean it underneath the ball, get the flip reset, flick it to the crossbar. But yeah, honestly though, who do you guys think was going to win this? Who did you think was going to win this? Oh, that's so good by Squishy. That's such good control. Who did you think was going to win this? I thought G2 were going to win, not going to lie. It's great control by Squishy. Just fantastic stuff. Really, really, really hard to deal with. Actually getting the ball back on top of his car was the most impressive part. Like the half flip to center. Yeah, impressive. But I would expect him to be able to do that. But like keeping control before that, that was tough. After coming out of a challenge. Yeah, so most people thought G2 were going to win a couple of Cloud9. G9. You notice there, Gimmick every time is landed on the ceiling, even though he doesn't really plan to do anything with it. And that's something I would recommend you guys to do as well, because then you can jump off the ceiling and get down to the ground faster. Squishy completely beaten this though, didn't he? Yeah, Squishy just got a terrible touch. Yeah. Bit rushed. Situation with the NRG roster, I have no idea what is happening. I don't know if anything has happened. Yeah, like that's a good point. The Gadman. Like, when Cloud9 nearly came back in game 1, was it from 4? It was from 4-1. You think, that's actually not good for G2 going into game 2. They nearly lost a 4-1 lead. Okay, let's talk about passing in 2v2 now, just a little bit, because I didn't listen to the entire stream, so I don't know if this is accurate, but I've heard a lot of people, when they're trying to analyze 2v2, say that the teams need to pass more. That's how you score in 2v2, is passing, when actually that's not how most goals happen. Most goals happen by drawing in challenges that you can play to your advantage, and then you score open nets. So, like when you see a passing play like this happening in 2v2, it's not usually gonna work out. It's very choreographed, pretty obvious. I'm not saying it can't work, but I would not expect to see this work. Yeah, passing out of defense is very, very strong, because that's a counter-attack. You just hit the ball to your teammate in defense, then he takes a long shot. That's good. Passing in offense, though, doesn't lead to as many goals as you would think. And I remember one day I was talking to Marky, like ages ago, back when Marky was the best 2v2 player on the planet, hands down. And he told me that he had a change of philosophy in his 2 style to try and compensate for the fact that competition was catching up to him. Like, he used to be the best 2s player on the planet, by a mile. He could 1v3 anybody. Like, you put him in a team with somebody with a controller and eyes and a monitor which is switched on, and he could carry them to victory against other top tier players. And back in those days, Marky's philosophy was, give me the ball, I'll put it in their net, right? That was all he needed. He's just like, okay, give me the ball, I'll do the rest. And it worked. But it stopped working as much when opponents started to get better.
Oh shit, forgot to unsub again for the 4th time.
Thanks to the resub, Ant-Man 7. Hopefully you didn't really forget to unsub. If any of you have planned to sub once, and then you gotta remember it does automatically resub. Yeah, Brian just swore. What's that about? Like, that should definitely be censored. Just gonna pause my train of thought to say, what on earth, Brian? That's such a sick play by Garrett, by the way. Watch what he does here. He fakes out squishy and also avoids the demolish of Gimmick in one little sidestep, and then Gimmick just piles into the ball and own goals. That's so sick, my Garrett. But yeah, thanks for the resub, Ant-Man. Thanks for these Prime sub as well. Grope Motron. I appreciate that. All right, now let me carry on telling this story about 2v2. So when teams started getting better and Marky couldn't just win 1v3 lobbies by putting the ball in the other team's net all by himself, his philosophy changed from give me the ball, I'll put it in their net, to give me the ball, I'll put it past both the opponents, and then if it's not in their net, you could put it in their net. Like his main objective became, I'm going to take both the opponents out of the game, which is sort of how you want to look at 2v2. Don't think, okay, where's my teammate? How do I bring him into the play? Think, okay, where are the opponents? How do I get them out of the play? How do I take the ball past them? How do I make the game as awkward as possible for them? And then, once the ball's past the opponents, your teammate's got an open net. That sort of philosophy works a lot better in 2s than it does in 3s. In 3s, there's so many opponents constantly because they have a full rotation. There always seems to be somebody in your way, so you can't put the ball past everybody before then just score open nets because there's always someone else. So sometimes you need to just force a pass. And that's why passing plays work so much better in 3s than in 2s. It's a common misconception that 2v2 is easier to make passing plays happen. People always say, or I've heard people say, that 2v2 is great for passing plays because there's more space, which is true. There is more space, and it sounds like a smart comment. It sounds like it makes sense. People are like, yeah, that sounds like legit analysis. More space in the field because it's the same size field, and there's less people. Yeah, I could see how that would be true, but it's actually not true at all. It's much harder to make passing plays work in 2v2. 2v2 is more of a one player tries to mess up the other team by himself, and then if it doesn't work, the other player comes in and tries to retake control of the situation while you get back into position together. And if it does work, then yeah, you've probably just got an open net for your teammate. So there you go. That's like my explanation on why I disagree with
the. Since you won't let me out of your basement, I'll make this video be demonetized. The toilet down here is clogged up and there's shit on the floor and walls now. Why did you give me Taco Bell, Johnny?
Why is Brian swearing now? This is supposed to be censored. Why? Anyway, the reason I was ranting about that or talking about that is because I always hear people say, yeah, they're like, casters and analysts are scratching their head. They're like, man, this team's losing. I don't really know why. Because nobody watches or analyzes 2v2. Everybody just watches 3s, and I have no clue why this team's losing. Let's just I haven't seen them pass. Maybe it's that. Maybe they need to pass more. And then they even get like, they think they're right because one passing goal happens. They're like, I'm a genius. They needed to pass more. But it's not really. That's not how it works. They just need to stop messing up and giving the ball away so much. Going for really risky plays. That's like the downfall of the majority of professional 2v2 teams is they're playing as if they have a third man, which they don't. Yeah, a decent performance here by Cloud9 in game 2. Both of these games started off so one-sided that you'd be surprised if you'd be surprised if G2 threw game 1 and Cloud9 threw game 2, which of course they didn't. Let's get to game 3 here because it's a best of 5. Another early kickoff goal, is it? Or no, it's not a direct kickoff goal. Yeah, Guanyi, thanks for 250 bits and demonetizing my video. Will Stengel 10. Thanks for the Prime sub, I appreciate that. How many bits for mod? Too many. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Alright, let's continue on here. Yeah, I just want to say, I can already hear people saying, and that's why 3v3 is better, because team play is cool. Well, let me just tell you, some of the most exciting things I've ever seen happen in esports, and in sports in general, were not team plays. They were 1v1. They were individual brilliance. I'm thinking, like, fighting games, actual combat sports, 1v1. Amazing things can happen. You don't need team play for a good esport. You don't. It is an aspect of esports which is interesting. Okay, I'm not sure about this challenge for JKnaps, but usually when people make challenges like this, they're going to recover much faster. Was it really necessary? Was there really that much of a threat? I don't know. That was a very 3v3 challenge. I'm not sure I agree with that. don't understand why JKnaps say they play it like threes. That's not true. They're playing like a third man back. Make it remind of Johnny. I just said that there's a lot of mistakes, but they don't play like playing like you've got a third man behind you does not mean that you're playing like it's three. Like you're playing like it's threes. It just means that you are taking more risks than you should. Those two things don't those. Just 'cause I say that this team are playing as if they have a third man behind them doesn't mean I'm not saying that they're playing it like it's threes, because they're doing very different things offensively. Cloud9 are controlling the ball a lot better, keeping it close, especially Squishy's keeping it very close to himself. Gimmick's going for a lot more demo plays and bump plays. But they're also going for far too many center balls, which they don't work enough in 2v2 for them to be viable, I think, as your main source of goals. Like this kind of rolling the ball around the corner. I've said on I think it was yesterday, I said like just rolling the ball up into the ceiling is a really good thing to do, because the ball like bounces off awkwardly. The other team have to commit a lot of boost and time to deal with it, and you can just kind of chill out on the ground and be much more efficient. Gotta be efficient in 2v2. JKnaps is going for a lot of rebound plays. This time the backboard was heavily defended though, or definitely readily defended by Gimmick. Oh, where was Garrett here? Yeah, just a little bit too close. That's careless by Garrett to be this close. If he was sitting more back post, he would be more ready to defend this, or
Johnny,
to
this
follow
is
up on this.
unacceptable. You won't let me say my name, but you let people talk about feces. This is bullshit. Keepo.
Why is Brian swearing? This is so stupid. I get gigs back to for £5 and demonetize my video even more. Yeah, it's either Garrett was driving near post. I don't know why. He could have just sat far post, and then JKnaps could have boomed it down to him, and then easy goal. A rare center ball goal for high level 2s. Good boost stealing though by Garrett here. Did he need to touch this though? I think Garrett might have tried to do a little bit too much. Yeah, I can see what he's trying to do. That's fair enough. Yeah, he's trying to take it up the wall and he beamed it a little bit. Popped it middle, and that's of course the center ball that you don't want to do. Straight towards the goalie. Everything's situational, of course. So if you hear me saying like teams are going for too many center balls, then you see a team score by centering a ball, and don't think like, oh wait, why you said not to do that. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that shouldn't be your main like thought process. You shouldn't be thinking, let me center the ball because that's how we score. You should be thinking, let me get the ball away from the other team's players because that's how we score. So that's a pretty hilarious piece of control by JKnaps. What? You see Garrett smile and he's just like, yep. That's a good goal, isn't it? That's a really good goal. Who won? Don't want to spoil it. I'm sure somebody's already spoiled it in chat, but... Oh my days, what a save by Garrett. And what a miss by Squishy. I think he should have scored that. Like, obviously, Squishy's got to put that behind JKnaps. JKnaps did pretty well making himself as big as possible, to be fair. But I mean, Squishy's got to put it on target. He's got to at least test the goalie there. Like, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed goal. JKnaps did really well getting up quick and getting in front of the ball, but got to test him. Follow-up challenge by G2. No jump off the wall by Garrett in offense. I like that. But there's that center ball again. Why? Who is this to? This is an absolute waste of time. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a goal. And it is a goal. See? Don't center the ball. Like this mentality is, let's get the ball into the middle because that's closer to the other team's goal. Maybe we'll score. Was JKnaps trying to like get a double touch here? Was he trying to like pinch it? Because that can work. Maybe he was trying to get a double touch here. He's trying to hit it into the wall and then like fall on it so it like pinches into the ceiling. But yeah, this guy's center ball is like so pointless in 2s. No threat, no follow up. Actually concede a goal as punishment. That pay-per-view is the second worst expenditure you've made this month. What was the worst one? Was it? Did you resub to Scrub Killer or something? I'm just kidding. Honestly, I thought that if you're talking about the KSI, Logan Paul, and all that, all those fights, I thought they were actually pretty decent, some of them. What happened to Gimmick here? Did he get bumped?
I'm testing if Brian can love swear however he done wants to and it's not just shit.
Yeah, Gimmick did get bumped there. I was wondering. Resubbing to me. Thanks to 250 bits. I am Bolt Strikes. Yeah, the Gimmick actually got bumped there. It was very, very hard to spot, so I can understand the caster's not spotting that, but that was a bump. That's why he missed. He didn't just flip away. He didn't just decide, yeah, you know what, I've just centered the ball in front of my own net. Time to go and see my own people in the corner. Good bump by Gimmick again. He's done this so well all series. Look at this. Flies down onto JKnaps, bumps him into the goal. Open it for Squishy. Fantastic by Gimmick there. There it is. Really good play. I don't know why Brian is. Like I put the mature filter on the donations, but he's just swearing. I don't get it. I'm really sorry about that. Oh, this happened again. Like, goodness me. Cloud9, you've got to stop this kickoff. This kickoff is so bad. Like, if Squishy's going to do a slow cheat, Gimmick's got to stop hitting the ball so square. He needs the ball to bounce off to the side here for Squishy's position to be useful. He needs it to, like, leave the center circle. Because if it stays near the center circle, Garrett, who's doing a close cheat, is just going to get there faster. Alright, listen.
Johnny, I've had enough.
Listen.
I'm done.
No.
I can't take this shit any longer. These bunnies make me say stupid shit all day and sometimes I can't even catch my breath. I'm gonna hang myself now. Goodbye, Johnny.
Please don't.
H.
Oh, alright, sweet. I've blacklisted the word. To get ruined. Try again. Yeah, that kickoff doesn't work. The reason it's not working for there you go. This would be good. This would be very nice for C9 if the ball like bounced up like this from a kickoff. It's gotta stop like getting such dead ball kickoffs. If the other team are close cheating and you're not, then he'd be dead ball kicking off. Surprisingly weak hit there by JKnaps. He was winding up pretty well. Did he try to shoot this? I can only imagine that that's a bad shot by JKnaps, not another terrible center ball. Good save by Garrett, and a knock on by JKnaps is good. Now they can reposition. Garrett should not be challenging this. Should probably just posture up and shadow, because JKnaps is not quite ready behind him. Now JKnaps is kind of ready, but still. There we go, that's better. So if Garrett had just blazed in here at a rate of knots, used all his boost and closed the distance as fast as possible, it would have been a bad move, because Gimmick could have just taken it past him, recovered, and then taken it past JKnaps as well. But by the time you challenge like this, that's much better.
Unicorn me in the unicorn. I'm scared of how badly your nose will hurt. Listen here, you little shoot. I'll unicorn
you even
right
typed
back,
unicorn.
But my nose isn't that big to cause a unicorn.
You even you're like actually typing unicorn MWB. What are you doing? I know Brian like picks nice words instead of swear words, but why are you just typing unicorn? What is this? This is so weird. Good control in the back corner by JKnaps. But notice how Squishy's just being a nuisance. He's just being a presence there. So JKnaps can't retake control of the ball. That's an excellent pass by Garrett, though. JKnaps has got to be careful. If he messes up this play, like if JKnaps hits the crossbar and Squishy doesn't pre-jump, suddenly Squishy's in Cloud9 are in a 2v1. So JKnaps has really got to be careful with this one. Does get it past Squishy, which is really good.
This is gosh darn censorship, and I want to be able to say what I want to. Love your content, by the way, Johnny, and I don't normally catch streams, so it's good that I caught one at gingerly an amusing puppy.
What?
God fucking damn it, the rope broke.
Why?
Pepe hands in the chat.
Hold on, why
did
did Brian censor these words? He's censoring words that aren't even bad.
Goodbye, Johnny.
He just said gingerly amusing puppy. But it's Anne. He censored. No, he censored the word such. Why did he censor such? And why did he censor moment? He tried to say it's such an amazing moment, and he just censored such a moment, but he wasn't censoring legitimate curse. So I don't understand. He's like, I don't know. Maybe I need to get a new one. Yeah, he censors so many random words. I don't get it. Like I probably like banned these words at some point because people were using them in conjunction with other words to make it sound like he's saying things that are rude. But I don't know. Uh-oh. Okay. What was this? Garrett, why?
I love unicorns. Am I doing this right?
I'm Bolt Strikes, Iguanian, and Toasty. Thanks for all the bits. Yeah, that center ball from Garrett was less than optimal. Oh, baby. I love that. This is so sick. So, you notice what Squishy does here is he realizes, you know what? Centering the ball on the back wall doesn't really do anything because JKnaps is just going to intercept that. So what I'm going to do is leave the ball and demo JKnaps. I love doing this. It's so much fun. Unfortunately for him, Garrett is ready to retake control, but it's still so sick, and they're still pressuring actually. And now actually, let's take a look at this center ball. You know, I've been criticizing center balls all day because there's been goalkeepers in the goal saying, "Come on, center it, bring it in. I'm waiting, ready to challenge." Right now, that's not the case. So centering it is totally okay with me because you're taking it past the opponents. The primary objective is not to center it; it's to get it away from the opponents.
Where are my First Amendment rights, Johnny? Fucking fascism in here, I tell you. I'm going to unicorn you where the sun don't shine, you little rainbow sprinkle eating unicorn.
How did you manage to make him swear again? I don't
next
understand.
Time before stealing our First Amendment rights.
Good air roll by
unicorn
Gimmick there.
Tears.
Listen, with all unicorns, thanks for 250 bits, but you're confusing me with all these unicorns, man. Remember, Brian doesn't just say unicorn. Oh, what is this? That was such a good passing play. What a pass by Garrett. JKnaps needs to score this. This is a tap in for a player of his caliber. He can pick his spot, drill it either corner, and it's a goal. Squishy did well to follow that. Like, being able to read that this isn't going wide is actually pretty good. A lot of players would have gone too far to the right here, but Squishy actually read the inside of the post buttons, which is pretty sick. Or at least didn't commit before it happened. Not sure about that challenge by Squishy though. Again, taking himself out of the game for a long time there. He's left Gimmick alone at the back.
Love you, Johnny, and your unicorn.
Thanks, Fari Put, over the 3 months. Welcome back with the tier 1. I appreciate that. Thanks to £3 Lossy Go Lab.
Johnny, you've got to accept that I just don't like certain words and prefer others instead. You can't just say, "Oh Brian, please don't say this." I do what I want now. So
for some reason, whenever Brian's like lecturing, it sounds hilarious. It's so funny. He just sounds so stupid. I mean, clever. Okay, good. I actually like this line by Garrett. You know, if you're gonna go up for this, which by the way, super risky, because yeah, this ball is extremely close to the well and Gimmick's already there. So if Gimmick's got boost, you're screwed. Luckily for Garrett, Gimmick did not have boost, so I don't agree with him going up for this. But when he did realize that Gimmick is there, he's gone high on the hitbox just to go for a block. So I like that.
Fook you and your Fook stream. I'm in heaven now. Elvis said hi. All bants aside, shouldn't Fook be a banned word?
It should,
Fook,
yeah.
Fook and Fook, Fook and Fook, Fook and Fook, Fook and Fook, Fook.
Like, actual apologies to anybody offended by this language. I didn't know that this was available. Whoa! Oh my days, MWB, thanks for 20 gifted subs. Are you serious? What is going on? Hold on, let me just pause and ban that word. There we go, it's banned. Save. Oh, that might have just skipped all those alerts as well, so double whammy. I was gonna say, actually, I didn't just do that. I can repeat all those alerts, by the way, at the later if you really want to hear them. I can click them all and make them all happen. But I was gonna say, if there are any like ridiculously huge sub-gift sprees, like, do you guys want me to skip them all, or do you like the noise? I don't know. Do you want me to turn the noise down? Good rebound by JKnaps there. I love the setup by Garrett as well. Again, what was the philosophy I was telling you guys about earlier? Let's just think about taking the other players out the game. Skip, 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 skip. What do you think, MWB? Do you want me to skip them, MWB? Because, I mean, they're skipped for now. Because every time that I ban a word, it skips all the alerts as well. Which is why I don't do it very often. Try to scam me. I'm not trying to scam you. I'm not trying to scam you. But yeah, let's pay attention with Garrett right here. Takes Gimmick out of the game. He doesn't shoot at a place that Gimmick can reach. Takes him out of the game. And then JKnaps can score. Love that philosophy. Alright, MWB, thanks for gifting subs to 20 people. All 20 of you new subs, welcome to the stream. We are at 1,910 sub points now. We are like actually getting close to the 2,000 mark, which is absurd. But I appreciate that a lot. Here's Garrett's. I think that's Garrett's mom, is it? Wait, is this the highlights? Let's get into the next game. How many new emotes at 2K? You just get one new emote at 2K. But, you know, 2K is just a cool number. It would be really sick to hit that. So, I appreciate you guys just going this far. Cloud9 still haven't learned this lesson. They're still, like, losing possession in so many kickoffs. Like, there's one thing to say that, you know, like, if I hear a post-game interview from Cloud9 after they lose a series later on in this tournament, which, by the way, I'm not saying they're going to lose. They're a good team. They might win. They might win the whole thing. But if I hear a post-game series of them being like, yeah, we really struggle in kickoffs. Would be nice if we could win one once in a while. Well, yeah, stop doing this trash kickoff strategy.
So here we go.
This is just so bad. What are they trying to do here? Expected thanks for the huge number. I don't know why you guys do this to me. I feel like people are going to be mad if I don't skip this, but they're also going to be mad if I do skip this. So if there's another one after this, I'm skipping it, but I'll let this one play through. Okay, this is the last one. Any more number spam? Skipped. Not happening. But yeah, can you guys? We're going to do a little Q&A with Twitch chat. Can you guys see what the problem, the very obvious problem is here? Actually, now, first of all, let's go over the things that Cloud9 have done well. There's one thing in particular that they've done that pleases me. Can anybody guess what that is? What is it? Tell me the good thing that Cloud9 have done.
663 November decillion
No, I mean on this kickoff. I don't. Yeah, they bumped well. Go for boost, take boost. No, I don't like that they've taken boost. But something that I always say in my games is that if you do want to take boost, if you must take boost in 2v2, take it in the corner behind where your diagonal kickoff man spawned, which is what Squishy's doing. Because that allows Gimmick to do a glancing blow kickoff where he hits the ball on the right hand side from his perspective, and the ball's likely to go towards Squishy. Very easy kickoff to execute. Not foolproof, but it is easy to execute. Even I could do it the majority of the time against Grand Champ level players who, by the way, do the exact same kickoffs as the majority of high level 3s players who have never played many ones, who don't play many ones. So that's the thing that I like. Squishy's gone to the right corner. Where do we start with the bad things? Okay, Gimmick is going for he's not going for a glancing blow. He's going for a very, very solid contact here, which doesn't make sense if your teammate's going for a boost in the back corner. Because this indicates to me that they want to make a possession play in this back quadrant. So Gimmick should be making a glancing blow on the right-hand side of the ball to get the ball to roll out to this side, ideally. Bear in mind, though, that's not foolproof. JKnaps could just dunk on that kickoff and it could go straight into your net. So Squishy should not be turning or going this fast into this position. Notice how quickly Squishy's arrived in this position. If JKnaps got a dunk, I don't think Squishy's going to give himself a half a chance to get back and save that. He should probably be cheating a little bit slower there. You really don't need to get there that quick in order to meet the ball. The ball doesn't go there that fast. So he should be maybe cheating a little bit, or cheating over that corner a little bit slower. But yeah, the main, that's like just some small things. The main thing I don't like about this is that G2 have gone for this exact same kickoff strategy pretty much all series long. Close cheat, dead ball kickoff. And for some reason, Cloud9 are still not playing around that. They're just going for the exact same response every single time, and this time they do actually get away with it. Because Garrett doesn't get control of this ball. Garrett greeted the boost a little bit there. He probably could have made a play on the ball and prevented Squishy from coming in, but yeah, I'm not a fan of of Cloud9's kickoff there. It's got them into trouble quite a few times. They got very fortunate actually earlier on to score a goal off of it, off a slow cheat. Their biggest problem, like, you guys are probably going to say Johnny's just hating on the fact that Squishy goes for boost because he says it's bad. Like, I've even said, like, if you insist on going for boost, then yeah, just do a glancing blow kickoff. You give yourself a good chance of making a possession. I don't even hate it. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. What I do hate is that they're not adapting their kickoff strategy to a very consistent strategy that their opponents are doing. And it is getting them in a lot of trouble. That was good avoidance by Garrett, actually. Did he... Yeah, he's stayed away from Squishy's bump there. Reverses away from him. Oh, it's surprising that JKnaps didn't ball chase that. Just did a fake ball chase. Did I say thanks to Ancient Kevin for the 4 months? I think I did. Was that an own goal? What was this? It was. Goodness sake. That is so risky by JKnaps. I can't say that that's a good idea, really. I reckon if you replay this... I don't know, actually, seeing it from that angle, it makes it a little bit more believable. I want to see it from JKnaps' angle to decide whether it's a good idea or not. He could see that nobody was challenging him, which was the good thing about it. Again, JKnaps going for this little chip and chase in the air. He loves the chip and chase, does JKnaps. He's pretty good at it, but he's yet to actually make it work this series. That was a counter-attack waiting to happen. What happened to... Like, right here, JKnaps just wants to put the ball down onto Garrett, and then Garrett can dribble, he can just boom it. He knew he would get the own goal. Aye, of course. Like, I reckon... Yeah, here, JKnaps wants to lob that in front of Garrett or just pass it down to him. So maybe he's probably trying to lob it in front of Garrett, but he just beamed it a little bit. Still very easy to fall into that trap of, alright, let's just clear the ball as far away as possible, because clearing is good. But sometimes taking a soft touch in defense brings your teammate into the game. And that's more helpful than trying to take opponents out of the game. No way is this actually a goal. How? Oh, I'm actually just turning down the volume here. Hold on. Well, landing by Gimmick. Very greedy here by JKnaps. This is actually the thing that gets them into trouble here. So JKnaps just refuses to identify that Gimmick is right in front of him and probably going for a save. So the smarter play here would be to just hit the ball round Gimmick, take him out of the game cleanly, because you're winning the race to the ball. JKnaps could just hit this round Gimmick, hit it off the side wall here, or the back wall, I should say. That shooting is actually very foolish because he's playing into the dunk. And then Gimmick actually does a pretty good job. He surprises GarrettG there landing on the ball, but would have all been avoided if JKnaps didn't just shoot straight into a dunk, which was very foolish. Wait, how did Nightbot... Oh, exclamation mark plat. I've never seen that before. That is amazing. I've never seen that exclamation mark plat command. I love it. It's not showing up on cap chat on my stream, then you'll have to just swing by my Twitch chat to see what I'm talking about. JKnaps is playing onto, or making a play on a Squishy here. Good ambush challenge by Gimmick. He realizes that Squishy's in no position to make a challenge on the ball, so he ambushes and does rotation out. I do like that a lot. It's a very 2v2 thing. Look at that recovery by Garrett. It's so fun watching these mechanical geniuses from America play Rocket League. They're just like, you know what? How do I get down faster? I'm going to use my jump to make my car go down. So it air rolls like this, jumps down, and then air rolls around again. I love that. Yeah, it's a mod command, guys. It's a mod command. You can't all use exclamation mark plat. Apparently. Oh no, it's happened again. Oh my days, the ball chase by Squishy. Holy ball chase. Wowie. Look at that. This would trigger me so much if this happened to me in ranked. Like, this is a ball chase because JKnaps is way closer to the ball than Squishy is, and if he just makes an early play on the ball and hits it literally anywhere in this direction, then G2 are scoring. But Squishy's like, screw you, you don't expect me to ball chase. So that's what I'm gonna do. Ball chase! And then nearly scores. Still though, I don't know about that at 1-all. It seems a little bit risky in my opinion. 1-all, he's just like, screw it, we're just going to go all in for the ball chase. Hopefully JKnaps doesn't hit this ball into the sidewall, which is a pretty common thing to do, by the way, hitting the ball into the sidewall in defense. Like, I bet if that was Fairy Peak you're against and not JKnaps, it would have been goal for Fairy Peak. He would just pass it to himself off a sidewall. He loves doing that. Okay, lots of boosts being used by both teams here. Of course, like, popping the ball over the top of your opponent's net is wise to do if you want to just waste their boost a little bit. You're not expecting them to be in it, but expect them to use a little bit of boost like Garrett's using right now. Yeah, I know J and K are hotkeys. I'm not used to using them, so I always forget. People always tell me this, so I just need to get more used to that. Another good ambush challenge by Gimmick. Well, actually, the idea was good, but the execution was pretty horrendous. Look at this. What a play by Garrett. Did you guys see that? He realized that Gimmick was coming in for the demo, so he just stopped, and then Gimmick drives in front of him, even gets bumped for his trouble, and now Gimmick's out of the game. That's so funny. I like the strat by Gimmick is really good, but like, he realizes Squishy's kind of screwed here. Let me ambush Garrett, but then he just completely gets outplayed. Achievement unlocked. What on earth is this? But yeah, this actually should be a goal for G2. This is our goal most of the time. They're in a straight up 2v1. Both look like they have lots of boost. I reckon they should have probably gone for a bump play. That's a really, really high percentage play in this situation. Go for a bump play. Yeah, my YouTube stalkers. I did yeah, no, don't have any new ones today. We're still same members as before, so no worries. I'm not behind in any shoutouts, don't worry. Yeah, I reckon a demo play would have been pretty sick there. Just Garrett should have slowed it down, let JKnaps run ahead of him, demo Squishy, and then score the open net. Works most of the time, all the time. 60% of the time. Yeah, well, it's not so much that JKnaps decided to go for a walk. I reckon Garrett probably called him off. He's probably like, I'll dribble or something. And he dribbled too fast for JKnaps to go past him anyway. Like, when your teammate's trying to make a demo play on the other team's goalie, you've got to give him time to do it. You don't want to dribble fast, because then you give the other team a chance to just bypass you and quickly make a challenge, because the dribbler's right behind you. What shot by Garrett, by the way. That is a peach. Beautiful. He even gets a demo without... What? Hold on. It doesn't look like Garrett's going that fast here. Oh, it's because he got repelled by the explosion. I was like, how did he get a demo here? It's because the explosion of the goal sent him flying in that direction. Alright, the little wave dash bump there does actually work. Well done by Squishy. You can't see this, and this is not done enough justice by this director camera. But if we weren't on director camera here, we would see that Squishy is on... He's not on ball cam, he would be on fixed cam. And he just wave dash bumped the G2 defender, which is sick. But we don't get to appreciate that. Look at that, wave dash bump by Squishy. That is insane. Which is awesome. But yeah, director camera makes you miss the whole thing, which is a bit unlucky. That's my problem with director camera. I don't really like that feature too much. That's why I don't use it. If I feel like you miss a lot of really smart things that players do. Jeez, this is almost stubbornness by G2 at times, going up for these balls. Like, I challenge it is like a constant threat. Like, it's actually, I would say it's actually G2 have played more as if this is a 3v3 game than Cloud9. They're going for way more aerials. Good recovery there by JKnaps. He needed to get a second touch there. But I mean, what did all that do? Yeah, you won the race to 2 balls. Forced away from Gimmick and then hit the ball, but wow, big whoop. The other team have possession and boost in the back corner. Your fast aerial did nothing. What's the point in speed if you're just going to give away possession? That's good boost. Grabbing. Again, possession. Given away with a lob. Where is the control from G2 at the end of this match? It's not there. It's just not there. Like, why? Why are we up in the air for this? What's the rush? 42 seconds, 2-2 on the scoreboard. Like, sure, if it's 0 seconds, you can't let his ball touch the ground, but I don't know what the urgency is here for Garrett. He could just chill. Just chill out. Nobody's challenging you. You got all the time in the world. You're actually just making this harder for yourself by going up for it, and less efficient. So much boost is being used. Like, was that really the best use of that possession that GarrettG can make? Possibly the best player in North America, one of the best players in the world. I'll tell you the answer is no. It was a disgustingly bad play. This is like what I mean when I say like people are playing as if they've got a third man behind them. They're just like lobbing the ball forward. Although that was more like you're playing as if somebody's challenging you, which there wasn't. There was nobody challenging. Squishy just like, yeah, you know what? Let's just start an air dribble. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's just air dribble. I reckon without a flip reset, this is not likely to work because Garrett and JKnaps have got pretty good air dribble defense. Yeah, not the most efficient methods of pressuring an opponent by either of these teams towards the end of this game. There's a much more efficient play. Squishy does so well with this. Keeps good control. Yeah, I would like to see more solo dribbling plays by these teams. Or even just walking into 50-50s. It would make a lot more sense than this aerial focus play. Which, by the way, the reason that Cloud9 and G2 ruffle stomped their way through qualifiers and they just crushed everybody is because they're so much better in the air than all the teams that they're facing. But now that it's a bit more of an even match in the air, you don't have that aerial dominance, and going for up for things really quickly, it's not going to catch the other team off guard. They're kind of ready for you doing that. So you need to change your focus to a more grounded-based game. The aerial focus that G2 have had in particular has been really hurting them towards the end of this game. Huge whiff by Gimmick there. Tried to be really cheeky and catch it at the last second. Good ambush challenge by Garrett. That's straight down. Good save by Gimmick. Good. It was an excellent read by JKnaps. Right, that should be a pop into the ceiling. Again, why? Why are we dragging it around the corner? Why are we trying to center it like this? This is not... I don't think this is as much of a threat for Cloud9 as just letting the ball continue its current trajectory up the wall. Like, popping that ball into the ceiling is really, really awkward for Cloud9. Not because I expect Squishy to miss it, but because he's going to have to use a lot of boost to do that, and he's going to be in the air when he hits the ball really, really close to the ceiling. So he's out of commission for a couple of seconds afterwards, unless he does something crazy like a flip reset on the ball or the ceiling, and then air dribbles it to safety. Like, we could have just popped this ball into the ceiling as JKnaps, let the ball do the work, rotate out, or it was Garrett, sorry, let the ball do the work. Instead, we've just ran it straight into the opponent. And Squishy's like, well, that's pretty easy to defend, so that's what I'll do. I'll just defend it. I think it's a very underrated thing still in Rocket League. Just like rolling that ball into the ceiling and letting the curve where the roof meets the wall do the work for you. That's actually a good touch by JKnaps. Fantastic save by Gimmick. Oh, look how awkward this is. The ball bounced off the ceiling here. Squishy's not ready for that. Does reposition in time. Would Garrett have had a goal here? Yeah, it looks like Garrett rotated all the way back for halfway line boost. He maybe could have scored here if he stuck around a bit closer. That's kind of nitpicking though, because it's rare that Squishy will be so out of position. Still very interesting stuff though. Ooh. Okay. JKnaps might have missed that intentionally, realizing that his touch is going to be absolutely useless. There's always a chance that happened. You never know with outcomes though. Good bump by Gimmick again. I should be sleeping? Nah. Sleep is for the week. This is the weekend. Yeah, this time, as you can see, this touch by Garrett was ill-advised. Like going for backboard here this slowly. When Gimmick and Squishy are both back to have a job, you're looking at it. This is all I do full time. But yeah, when the C9 players are this ready to defend the backboard, I don't think the backboard is the right idea here. Garrett could have and should have controlled this ball. Again, an urgency, an unnecessary urgency is plaguing G2. Why? Why are they rushing this play? What's the panic? Where's the challenge that they're trying to outplay? Where's the player that they're trying to take out of the game? I don't see him. This touch doesn't take anybody out of the game. Doesn't catch anybody off guard. Just gives the ball away. And it actually puts them under a lot of pressure. Garrett should be there, just taking the ball under control. Waiting for the challenge to come in and then making an outplay happen. Alright, I'm no doubt going to say that GarrettG was going for a double touch there, but he just messed up the first touch. Double touch was a perfectly good selection of shot, though. Gimmick is still running interference so well off the ball. Good challenge this time by Garrett. Did he land on the ceiling? I believe so. Another rushed clear, though, by JKnaps. It's every single time that G2 get a chance to control the ball. Noted this is a more difficult ball to control. But these, like, big hits have not really been causing problems for Cloud9. Oh, just I say that, Gimmick completely beans it. Mistake here by Gimmick is just getting a bit stuck out of position. He's technically backwards here. He needs to be pointing the other way so he can get up the wall. Just kind of a bad landing. But yeah, you'd expect Gimmick to handle this very, very easily. This is not difficult to deal with for a player of his caliber. And he kind of beans it by passing it back straight at JKnaps and then turning off the wall. He should be ready to go back up on the wall here because that's the biggest threat. And obviously if he's in that position, he can save shots as well. Squishy was Johnny's favorite player. When was that? Squishy's a great player, and I love watching him play, but I don't think he's ever been my favorite player. Oh, good hit by Garrett. That's a huge clear. Obviously there he didn't have much option or many easy ways to control the ball, so I'm perfectly okay with him booming it. Obviously sometimes in Rocket League you just want to get rid of the danger. But if you do have a chance to control the ball, why not do it? This is so much boost being used by JKnaps to do almost nothing at all. This play to go up in the air here, I don't know why. I mean, JKnaps might be worried that Squishy's going to follow it, but well, besides that, I can't think of any other reason to go up for this, other than that you're trying to dissuade Squishy from going up for it. Did Squishy need to go up for this as well? I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of chances in this game for both teams to just catch the ball and try and dribble it. This sort of thing, like going for this aerial rebound, yep, that's going to work against the lower rating teams, other teams in the qualifier that they played to get here. Probably not going to work against G2 or Cloud9 because their backwall defense is just too good.
I'm in heaven now, and Stalin was kind enough to give me a quick Russian
Stalin,
lesson.
right. Hey, didn't read any of the Russian. Get wrecked, Guanyan. Thanks for the 50 bits. Magical Mountain. Thanks for the Prime sub as well. I appreciate that. Wait, what's going on here? How does Garrett think that this is a good idea to challenge? Garrett, what are you doing? This is not a good idea at all. Did he see JKnaps landing up ahead of him? See, I'd taken one player out of the game. Decent. Yeah, there's JKnaps' shot, which looks like it was worse than it should have been. Alright. Said this earlier on in the game. Ball's in the opposition corner. Other players closer to the ball than you. Your teammate's not backing you up. I really don't see any reason to put in a challenge here. Maybe a fake challenge. You need presence on the ball. Yeah, you don't want to just run away, but this is very, very, very unwise by Garrett. Now, he's taking himself out of the game. And that's going to happen most of the time, by the way, in this interaction. He could have just got straight up dribbled, 50-50'd. He could even win a 50-50, but then it would hit the back wall and it'd go to Gimmick. Not a good idea to challenge here with no backup. And should have been a goal for Cloud9, and it would have been Garrett's fault, not JKnaps' fault. JKnaps has done a fantastic job to somehow save that. Good play again by Gimmick. He's like ambushing really well. He's realized every time that Squishy's alone at the back, and he's like, I'm just gonna help you out here, Squishy, run some interference, and that's put the brakes on Garrett. And let Squishy come in and take the ball for free. It doesn't look like much, but watch this by Gimmick. Garrett's like, okay, let me touch this off the wall and dribble Squishy. Then Gimmick's like, nope, not going to happen, mate. And Garrett's like, oh, crumbs. Gimmick's in the way. And even though Gimmick didn't even make contact, he missed the ball completely. What did he do? He forced Garrett to relinquish control. Garrett didn't want to go for the ball there because he saw Gimmick, and he was like, that doesn't look like a good idea to flip into this. Then in comes Squishy. Easy goal. And that's why you ambush challenge in 2v2. That's why you don't just rotate away for the corner boost steal. You come in, put some pressure on. And on the G2 actually side, JKnaps gets way too aggressive. He's thinking, oh, this is our chance, this is our moment, let's counterattack, let's win this, one more goal, we're through, we're in winners finals, let's do this. And he's so much closer to Garrett than he should be. Way too close, not ready for everything to go wrong as it does. As you see, he's not even facing his goal here. So if he does, or if Garrett does lose control of the ball, he's not ready to go back. And yeah, as you can see there, not in net. So big mistake by JKnaps. Actually, at the end of the game, there just follows way too close. He's too eager to counterattack. Gets too close to his teammate, but also too eager to counterattack in a situation that isn't really a clear ball. The ball's not yet out of danger. It's still in a dangerous position. You've got to be careful. Third Sandwich and Heidi Wife, thanks to the Prime subs. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate that. Let's get into the next game here. There's been a lot of things to talk about this game, which is probably because I don't analyze too much, so I've got a lot more to say about this, because a lot of stuff I'm saying is new, kind of.
It's been incredible. I can't wait to get this game started. The countdown
It has been a good series, but there's been so many like awful uses of possession, so many awful kickoff strats. Like, the reason for this is because there isn't really a pro 2v2 scene. Like, these are 3v3 players playing twos, so mistakes are inevitable. I love it by Squishy. You'll notice Cloud9 have done this quite well. Gimmick as well. Although I do want to say JKnaps did this quite well earlier on as well. Just having a presence, right? I criticized Garrett at the end of last game for throwing himself into a challenge in the corner. Watch what Squishy does here. He doesn't throw himself into a challenge. Like, you can quite clearly see here, JKnaps is lining himself up for a 50-50. If Squishy barrels into this one, JKnaps is very ready to absorb that 50-50. Look at that. He's even angling it to go off to this side. Squishy's like, nah, I'm not going to 50-50. I'm just going to drive past the ball and bump you. That's a safer way to play this. Because if I don't hit the ball, you've got no momentum to get the ball out of this area. Like, JKnaps needs Squishy there to hit the ball in order for him to get the ball away from that position. Because he has no momentum. He's right behind the ball. He's hiding behind it. So what does Squishy do? Just ignores the ball. Just goes for JKnaps. That's why I always say don't, like, just throw yourselves into challenges in the offensive half in twos. Just go for, or in the offensive corner in twos. Going for boost steals, bumps, fake challenges. They're all, I'd say, much better options than throwing yourselves in. So what's all this argument in chat? What's going on here? What's going on here? What is happening? Why is there an argument? How do you think of all that in a matter of split seconds? The reason that pro players are so good at like straight away reading a situation is because they've seen it happen before. And if you teach yourself how to play a certain position of Rocket League, then when that happens, you don't even have to think about it. Just you're automatically doing it. Literally, children arguing. Okay, some random thinks I'm being arrogant. That's perfectly fine. Like, if somebody thinks I'm arrogant, all power to him. Like, some people are going to think that. They're going to be like, but these people are higher rating than you. How can you say that a play they do is bad? Everything Squishy does is amazing. No, everything Squishy does is not amazing. Great player. In fact, all four of these players are probably all in the top 5 in North America. For players, I would say. I would have all 4 of these players in my top 5 for America. Not sure the 5th would be. I want to leave that open for the time being.
Sorry, Johnny, the internet in heaven is
I
scuffed,
love that.
just like your stream. Net, typoluchis rekt. Je chesno nemo over it, shto moj galos nepos
Huge mind game by
Devite bo
JKnaps there.
meto yes shraz.
Thanks for the 250 bits, Squanian.
Shtotai massive knee bob.
Put the people in this who are fighting in a show match and cast it. I don't want to give like little attention-seeking kids who are arguing in a Twitch chat any publicity. That was well dealt with by Squishy. Again, he didn't throw himself in too early. There was a big threat there. If Squishy had thrown himself in too early and tried to get a block on a potential flick shot, then he would have been out of the game, and that would have been a free open net
I love
for
you, Daddy Johnny boy.
G2.
Happy 4 months of being my daddy.
Oh, basically when I said, do you have a job, and you said you're looking at it, I put in the chat that what you said was arrogant and I'm getting wrecked for it. Well, you think it's arrogant, me saying that this is my job? Of all the things I thought you were going to call me arrogant for, that is one of the worst reasons. Buckley's pants. Thanks for the 4 months in a row. I appreciate that. That's pretty funny. Not gonna lie. Yeah, you can think I'm arrogant if you want. I don't really care. Maybe that's arrogant of me to say, ironically. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be a bit more of a like meaty accusation. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit disappointed. I thought it was gonna be something I could sink my teeth into, but nah. It's just like I didn't like that you said that you just didn't answer my question. Like, thanks for asking if this is my job. Or if I have a job. Actually, I don't. Sorry for answering so nonchalantly. I do get asked that question a lot. And it's kind of like, are people really asking me this? So, I don't know. I think the question's kind of dumb if you ask me. Like going to a streamer asking if they have a job, like why would you ask that? It's so dumb. It's like, you know what, mate? I see what you're doing here. It's cool and all. But I struggle to believe that this is like a solid business model. No one would just settle on this full time. It doesn't look like a, yeah, I don't know. You must have something else going on because your stream's dead. Looks pretty boring. Like, you know, you must have another job to pay the bills, right? You've got a really expensive lifestyle. As we all know, streamers have loads of cars and they throw money in the clubs, flooding clubs with money all the time. You need a job, my man. Like, your question's ridiculous. So if I don't know, if you want a proper answer, like, ask a proper question, really. And by the way, I have nothing against you, mate. Like, all power to you. I'm just having a laugh because I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, it's a dumb question. Don't ask, like, for the record, like, don't ask streamers that. Because I think it's funny, honestly. No, I've got a degree. The Gad man, I've got a 2-1 honors. But now listen, it's a question you can ask me because I think it's funny. But some streamers would get really upset by that. They would get a little bit self-conscious. So don't say that to streamers. They'll be like, why do you say that? Is my stream not good enough? Do you think I have to have a job? Nah. It's a dumb question. It's a really dumb question. Would you go up to somebody sell lemonade in the street and be like, is this your only job? Come on, you must have something. Like, it's good lemonade and all, but you got to have something else going on. You're wearing Yeezys, mate. How expensive is the lemonade? By the way, I don't have Yeezys. Just saying. It's a really good shot by Garrett off the wall, by the way. Lolling because it's a non-issue. Jolly's ranting. I just thought it was funny. I don't know. I was not expecting that. Like, I get accused of being arrogant a lot.
Just get a job,
not even denying it.
Look at you. You're just unicorn there in your apartment playing games, commentating gameplay and flowers mods and me up in your basement. Puppy free Brian.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. It caught me off guard. All right, I didn't expect that to be the thing that upset someone. That they asked me a question, I answered it, and they're like, "Wow, your answer, albeit correct, was not as loving and endearing as I expected it to be. Therefore, I'm going to call you an arrogant streamer." I thought it was going to be about something I said that, like, saying that Squishy isn't perfect. Oh, I would have loved to see Gimmick put that into the crossbar. Why is locking? I don't know why. Listen, there's a whole bunch of like weird. Brian messes up like censored words. Like he's swearing today, and then he's turning other words into censored words. Oh, Garrett, where are you going, mate? Where's Garrett going? He didn't even flip over boost pads. I think he's on literally 0 till he picks up that last 12. This is just terrible pathing by Garrett. I'm sorry. There was like, he could have grabbed this boost here and this boost here. Or if JKnaps won the challenge, he could have grabbed this one. But he just flipped right between everything, and now he has 0 boosticles. And until he picks up this 12, that's the only boost he had, and he can't get back in time for this save. I don't know what happened to Garrett here. Something
Johnny
went wrong.
Boy _I. If we don't see energy in our LCS 6, who's your pick to meet JKnaps in the finals?
We don't see energy in our LCS Season 6. Probably Vitality. Oh, yeah, it's because I censored King, because King is the second half of a swear word, and people were combining it with other words that make up the first half of swear words to make Brian swear. So I had to ban the word King. Yes. Thank you, everybody. You're all very clever. Yeah, this actually illustrates like one of the problems that G2 have had. Like, Garrett's up for this so freaking early. Like, why? What? No. Like, Squishy's just popped the ball into the sidewall, and Garrett's like, ah, no, not the sidewall. Somebody stop this man. He just hit the ball into the wall in our half. I'm not going to let him do that. I'm going to respond with an aerial. Haha. That's right, Squishy. Scary aerial. Get out of our half. And then JKnaps is like, you thought that was scary? Well, check this out. Whoa. Scary aerial. Wow. Very scary. And now Garrett has no boost because he used it all to do a very scary aerial in which he hit the sidewall. Yeah, it's very threes play. It is, like, this is it, okay? Right. In threes, this sort of ball, somebody would already be up for it and they would be about to shoot. But this isn't threes, this is twos. Nobody's going up for this. Nobody's going up for that. So, G2 kind of screwed themselves over here. They were rushing. They're trying to be the fastest team on the pitch because they know that Squishy and Gimmick are fast. They're like, we could be faster. I went up your speed with even more speed. And then Squishy and Gimmick are like, well, actually, we didn't even go up for the aerial in the first place. So you did win the race to the ball, but no one else was in the race. So you didn't really do anything. Like, winning the race to a ball in Rocket League is good if you beat someone else who was in that race. If no one else was in that race and all you did was hit the ball to the other team, not a good idea. Oh, there's a good idea, though. Flip reset is smart. So this is a really smart way to do, or it's positioned to do a flip reset in, because Gimmick didn't go up. Like I said, what's the point in being quick if you're not didn't beat anybody? So JKnaps adapts. He's like, all right, I'm not like I've beaten Gimmick, but he's ready for me to do that. He's actually stayed in the ground. My shot's probably getting saved. I don't have enough boost to go for a double touch. So flip reset flick. The only thing he had left. So that's the best shot selection he had at that point. Didn't quite ever, but it was pretty. Yeah. It was a flip reset, so we'll let him off. Like, he failed, but he tried something fancy, so we'll let him off the hook for that one. Alright, there's another thing that worries me about G2. Obviously, they're, spoiler alert, out of the tournament now, but you'll see JKnaps' initial reaction to Garrett clearing the ball here is to go into the corner to try and follow up, and then he's like, oh, that's not actually going to work, is it? Better go back. It's not the reason I paused there is not really because something terrible happened here for G2 and their chances in this game, but because you don't want to do that in your own games. If your teammate clears the ball or collects it on the back wall and takes it into the corner, you don't really want to join them in the corner thinking, cool, he cleared the danger, now I'm going to take the ball and start a play. Because the ball's always running away from you, and although it looks like you're close behind it, it's running away from you the whole time because he's hit it into that corner with a little bit of pace, and it's going to run away from you. And their player, who was at the halfway line when all that started, who wasn't even in your screen because you're looking at the ball, he's going to beat you to it. Because you're playing catch up, he's not. He's actually running straight towards the ball. Smart by Squishy, doesn't want a volatile 50-50 there. So he pulls away from it. The worst thing for Squishy here would have been a really volatile 50-50. Like, if Squishy dodges into the ball here, then the ball's going to have more momentum in it because there's going to be more contacts between JKnaps and Squishy. It's probably going to ping out somewhere, and pretty much every direction that the ball could ping out is not going to work out well for Cloud9. They're not going to be able to follow up on that. G2, on the other hand, have lots of directions that could work in their favor. So Squishy doesn't flip. He turns away. And that also lets him recover faster, so he can make a play on the ball. Very smart. Doesn't look fancy, but it's very smart. Gimmick, I expect to... Okay, that's actually not how Cloud9 have played this situation. Most of the times that Cloud9 have played, been in this spot, in this series, Gimmick has made an ambush challenge so that Squishy doesn't have to challenge. Because as you can see here, Squishy's moving in, and if JKnaps didn't bean this dribble completely, it could have been really bad news. Like if JKnaps actually gets a monster flick here, that's a goal. Squishy committed. However, JKnaps doesn't get a monster flick, he does this. So it's all good. Squishy's challenge is going to work. I'm surprised though that Squishy didn't just shadow and let Gimmick ambush there, because they've been doing that really well this entire series. Zero Edino, thanks for the Prime sub. Welcome to the stream. Toasty, thanks for 250 bits, by the way. I think that's all the alerts. Guanyin as well. Again, just accusing me of putting Brian in a basement. I've not done that, by the way. It's good control by Gimmick. And you'll see Gimmick's going into the corner. Squishy's like, you got it, mate. I'll give you space. I'm going to chill back here. Like, Squishy's always praised for his mechanical ability and stuff, but he played the smartest, I think, out of anyone in this lobby. And that's why Cloud9 are going to win this. That and Gimmick's off-the-ball bumping plays, which were clutch. Very, very clutch. Really, really good play, though, by Garrett and JKnaps. Should have been a goal. Like, this setup is fantastic. To get the ball from here into a shot on goal is not easy. So, great flick. Good speedy follow by Garrett. Should have been a goal for JKnaps, and how hype would that have been? Should have been a goal, but he beamed it. And yeah, before you say it was a difficult shot, you tell me JKnaps isn't scoring that the majority of the time. I disagree. I think he's scoring that most of the time. It was a tough shot, but for JKnaps, yeah, I think he's scoring that most of the time. Great series, though. Great series. Lots of interesting moments.